never have to think of being shot, never worry about being hung. Birdless, treeless Depression Gulch was beginning to look a very good place for him. But he decided he wanted one more piece of proof. Well, it wasn't long in coming. That week, he had to go to the Silver Assay's office. So there he was in the office when 8 robbers ride into Depression Gulch. They've got guns and they're shooting through windows, pulling up tents, loading up with silver, and shooting anybody that gets in their way. When they got to the Silver Assay's office, Ben's there. He's got a 6-pack gun in his hand, and he's standing perfectly still, real quiet. The bullets are flying either side of him, but Ben stands there. And then he takes the gun, and he takes slow and careful aim at every one of the robbers, one by one. And then he stands there in perfect health and watched them get dragged away to the undertakers by their boots. He looked up. Not a bird, not a mountain in sight. Well, that day, they made him sheriff of Depression Gulch. And from then on, the townsfolk in that town were safe from all robbers. Well, that is, except Ben Gizzard himself. He started to boss the people in a way that you couldn't imagine. He made all kinds of laws up. And then when the people broke them, well, he fined them and pocketed the money. He got himself a little office, and of course a nice big badge. And then he opened a bank, made himself president. He even built a courthouse. And of course, guess who was the judge? Ben. And now he started to acquire property and goods, legally, from the court proceedings. Well, the town prospered, but Ben grew very rich. And he decided that the place needed a mayor. So he had an election. Nobody dared run against him. They were too frightened. He shot anybody that caused him any trouble. So it was that he won that election by default, and he was made mayor. And then, then it was Mayor Ben Gizzard in the finest of attire. He had fancy suits, hand-tooled boots, black beaver hat, and linen shirts with ruffles at the wrists. Oh, he pranced around town with a gold watch in his vest coat. And he had a walking stick, tipped with silver, of course, and he'd tap against doors, and he'd hit any dogs that came sniffing. He gave his badge, the sheriff badge, to a scarred-up villain, a tall, thin fellow who just needed a little bit of violence every now and then to keep him happy. And the two of them strutted around the town, causing misery and mischief wherever they went. After a good swindle, Ben liked to pull up his silk shorts and say, "I ain't wearing these because I'm stupid."